Good evening. Welcome to another episode of Cinnamon Chat with Amita, Sri Lanka's first LinkedIn live talk show. And it is the 49th episode. Imagine I have been running it for 49 weeks continuously. And then I always bring another expert, except for one or two sessions, which I ran it all by myself. Today, I decided to run the show all by myself again. And you might wonder why. Recent past, Sri Lanka has been going through a lockdown, even at this moment. I think for another 6, 7 days, we are under a lockdown, limited operations on the road in the businesses, not much of physical activities. So, for last, let's say, 2 years, there has been an increased amount of uh, activities when it comes to sales and marketing online. And on that note, there had been a lot of companies who has been getting my services to get their sales teams aligned with this new normal, where you are under a lockdown, you can't go and meet customers, and then person to person or face to face sales have been transformed to social selling. And then, as I told you earlier, a lot of companies started talking to me, and I thought maybe it's time that I do a session. I have given bits and pieces of what I do, but today I thought I would dedicate this session to those who are interested in learning how to leverage LinkedIn as a powerful sales tool. So, to start, let me talk about a little bit about myself, as I always do. Uh, I'm a executive coach. I love coaching CEOs, CXOs, CIOs, CFOs, you name it. And I'm also a personal branding expert. I help business owners and C level executives improve and enhance their personal branding to the next level. I have, when it comes to coaching, executive coaching, and personal branding coaching, I have clients not only from Sri Lanka, but from other countries as well. Apart from that, I also help organizations improve their sales performance by way of working with their B2B sales staff, sales teams. And this is where my specialty is coming because I have been on LinkedIn, selling on LinkedIn for a very long time. If you ask me, how do I sell my coaching services as a CEO coach? How do I get the attention of CEOs? I don't have a sales team when it comes to coaching business. I'm the salesperson and I make sure that I get the attention and I go and sell to CEOs. And even for personal branding, I don't have a sales team who goes out there and then say, hey, look, we do personal branding coaching, personal branding training. It's me, it's nothing, no one else but me. And then how about my sales? Amazing. So I meet clients, I talk to them on LinkedIn. I don't use any other platform. Of course, you can find me on Facebook, on YouTube. I have a YouTube channel. I mean, I never, talking about social media selling, I never had a YouTube channel, but I had my channel registered under my name, and it didn't have any videos for so many years. And then 49 weeks ago, the first LinkedIn live talk show was streamed directly to my YouTube channel. And then now what? There are about, I guess, about 300 subscribers without any effort. I haven't spoken. I haven't told anyone to come to my YouTube, but then people come and enjoy. So now I'm in the process of looking at my YouTube channel as well, because I know it is also bringing me results. So I thought maybe it is time that I share some of my secrets. They are not secrets actually. They are there. It's just a matter of you understanding them and practicing. But then I thought, why not I share whatever I know? How do I leverage LinkedIn as a powerful sales tool? Now, a few days back, I got hold of a special report published by LinkedIn about selling on LinkedIn. Some of their surveys, some of inside data that they have published for anyone to look at. And then with that, I was more encouraged to do this session because numbers don't lie. I have the data to show, at least to discuss with you, what LinkedIn could do to your sales performance in the coming months and years with this new normal situation with the pandemic. So, if you have any questions, of course, you can throw them here. We can have a chat about your particular question if you want to know how to, or if you have failed, if you have tried something and if it is not working, throw it here. Maybe for everybody's benefit, we can talk about it. So we have few friends here. Hi, Tamit, coming here. Tamit comes here every week, and he gets the knowledge from the expert that I bring here and I interview. And we also have Jude Fernando. Very good evening, Jude. Thank you for coming. We have Sridhar. Hi, Sridhar. Thank you for coming. Wherever you are at this moment, stay safe. Let me share something from that report. So the report goes as the state of sales 2021. I actually downloaded the Asia Pacific edition from LinkedIn. So according to this, let me talk about, it talks about 7 trends, because especially according to the report, it says virtual selling is here to stay. So you may call it virtual selling, digital selling, social selling, whatever you call it. Virtual selling is here to stay. People are going to sell, people are going to buy online. And this is not about social media marketing. This is not about digital marketing. This is about moving your face to face selling experience to virtual selling experience. So this is where you would use social channels to sell your products, to sell your services, to sell your solutions. I mean, I do that. And if you have read my flyer, from maybe from next week onwards, I have also got involved in a particular software company, and then I'm gonna even sell software here by myself because I have such a large network. Why don't I use my network to help me to move a specific type of software uh, to the other countries, to whoever it is required. So I would be doing that as well. That's basically again personal selling. So you are talking to someone now. You are looking at someone who is doing it. So it's you can get my tips, tricks, and if you have any question, you can throw them here. So we have few more who are coming here. Let's see. Okay, Sridhar was here. Vinod is here. Hi, Vinod. You being selling software. Hope this session would help you. We have okay, Babita. Good evening, Babita. Uh, Yeah, Sridhar says after a long time. Yeah, Patum, good evening. Thank you very much for coming. If you have any questions, throw them here. I'm going to answer. But in the meantime, let me go back to the report where the report talks about 7 trends in terms of sales, what LinkedIn has witnessed with their surveys and inside data. So the first trend, let me talk about the first trend. First one, virtual selling is good for sellers, it's even better for buyers. Now, from the sales side of it, you are sitting on the seller side. You know, it's always good to sell. than not selling at all due to pandemic or lockdown or whatever. But think about the buyer side of it. If you have not been paying attention to the buyers, even the buyers are getting benefited. So virtual selling is good for sellers. It's even better for buyers. 63% of buyers say working remotely has made the purchasing process easier. Did you know that? But if you have been thinking little, if you have been harsh on you, if you have been punching yourself, it's time to breathe. Even the buyers say, 63% of buyers say working remotely has made the purchasing process easier. Isn't it great? Great to know that this has helped. I mean, I'm about to buy a laptop for my younger son. What do I do? I've been going to all the sites and talking to people who are selling, and they have been sending me quotations, priced prices, comparisons. They are helping me to buy the right laptop. So the number again, 63% of buyers say working remotely has made the purchasing process easier. So remember, as much as you are trying to sell, on the other side, even the buyers feel comfortable because their buying process has not come to a virtual standstill, because you guys are doing a great job out there. Yeah. So that's the trend number one, because virtual selling is the the new norm. I don't think it will be uh, it'll be gone forever. No, we will be moving into a hybrid world where a considerable amount of selling and buying will happen online. I'm talking about selling or sales. I'm not talking about marketing. Marketing will anyway happen online. Marketing has been happening online, but I'm talking about virtual selling, selling online, selling through social media, selling through various digital platforms. It is going to be here. Even if the country opens completely, there will be a hybrid world. So, because as much as the sellers, buyers have gone remote, think about it. So, it's going to be a great opportunity for sellers. You don't have to go out of your house, out of your office, maybe, half of whatever the percentage in a hybrid world. Maybe a portion of your buyers are ready to buy from you from home. So that is a great uh, opportunity. But this is the trend number two. Sales organizations are preventing sellers from putting buyers first. Now, this is one of the challenges that the sales organizations are facing. The sales organization, just like maybe governments, they are very hierarchical, structured, not adaptable, or not flexible. So if you are working in a organization where the organization is not so flexible, they are not ready to do this. I know the number of the calls, inquiries that I get asking me to come and train their sales staff on how to sell on LinkedIn or Facebook have increased. But I was wondering, now we are going through the probably the fourth lockdown here in this part of the world, in Sri Lanka. This is 2021. We are in September. 2 years have passed. Still, some of the organizations are not ready. They haven't taught, they haven't given that knowledge about how to do this on social media, how to close a sale, how to find buyers virtually. None of these have been taught by majority of the organization. That's a very sad situation. So sales organizations are preventing. Now 61% of sellers say they always put the buyer first, but only 29% of buyers agree. But remember, the selling process has changed to a buying process. Think about it. We all learn about the sales process. but we hardly pay attention to the buying process. If you look at the buying process, there has been drastic changes that has been happening, and we haven't looked at it. Of course, I have looked at it, but majority haven't looked at it. You still bring the same old sales process and try to virtualize it. It's not going to work. So we need to get into, according to the LinkedIn status of sales 2021 APAC report, it gives these very specific instructions. Get into a buyer first philosophy, right? So they, at LinkedIn, they believe the buyer first approach to selling with these 5 principles. One, learn and then define. Active listening is a critical foundation for the buyer seller relationship. Are you listening enough? Now, most of the time, what happens is the moment most of the sellers, especially the young ones, they get into LinkedIn and they think, oh my God, I just found another database. Let me get in touch with every single person. Okay, they prepare a script, they copy and paste it to everybody's inbox. If you ask me the number of messages I get minimum 5 messages from sellers. Beauty is I respond to each of them and I tell them, look, this is not the way to do it. Share readily. Now, again, this is according to LinkedIn, based on the buyer first philosophy, the 5 principles. Second principle, share readily. Buyer first selling is about transparency and always empowering buyers with information. Because if you meet someone face to face in a showroom, in a typical physical sales situation, it's easier. But now sometimes buyer will have to depend on uh, one or two inputs from you to take a decision. So they need more information. And if you expect the buyer to go all over the world, gather information, it will not happen. Who has to offer that service? You got to offer. You can't hold on to information. Information is freely available. Now, third one, I love this one. Solve, don't sell. Don't sales. Don't be salesy. I was sending a proposal to one of my client today, and for the second day, the second session, one of the things that I included was do not be salesy in your pitch in the inbox. It's about developing a relationship. If you try to become salesy, that's the end of the relationship. You will not hear from the buyer. The conversation will go blank, and you will wonder what happened, why the customer is not responding. So solve, don't sell. A buyer first seller measures success in problem solved as well as product sold. So it's not about just selling products or solutions, it's about solving problems. So you got to help them solve problems, right? Let's see who else is there in the room. We have Yamika, good evening. We have Samita Dilan joining from Facebook. Hi, Samita. Yamika says, good evening, good evening. We have Indumina, good evening. We have, who else? Saravanan, hi, good evening. We have Gayan Maldenia, timely topic to talk about. Thanks. Thank you, Gayan, for coming and joining. And we have Indra Kumar, valuable information. Yeah, it will definitely help your ISO related solutions. Indra Kumar supplies ISO standard related solutions. You can talk to him. You can find him on LinkedIn, on Facebook. Okay, let me move on to the next tip. Now, this is directly coming from LinkedIn based on their LinkedIn status of sales 2020 APAC report. I, of course, took the APAC report. They have few other reports uh, pertaining to those respective regions in the world. I thought this is most relevant to us. And then This is very important. Deliver value. It's critical to see the relationship through long after a deal is signed. So you got to deliver value. You can't just sell and vanish, or maybe you can't just provide some information and vanish. This is a long term relationship. So you got to deliver value. And then the fifth one, of course, earn trust. This is something that we are going to talk very heavily today. I have made sure, if you go to my profile is optimized to showcase that I am a trustworthy person. I mean, I get enough connection requests without even a profile picture. How can you trust? People are so scared about fake profiles. And is a LinkedIn a place there's no fake profiles? No. LinkedIn also has fake profiles, but compared to any other network, LinkedIn is doing a marvelous job in getting rid of fake profiles or unsafe profiles. So you got to earn trust from the buyers. This is true. You don't have to come to learn this. You don't have to come to LinkedIn to learn this, but you got to earn trust. A buyer first seller develops long-term trusted relationship by always acting in the buyer's best interest. So if you have this attitude of hell with the buyer, I just want to sell my solution, you are not going to live here for a very long time. Maybe in the outside world, you will always find someone who would get caught, but in LinkedIn, on LinkedIn, it will be difficult. So be careful. You got to earn trust. So how do you earn trust? I'm going to talk about it, because if you can't show trust on your profile, on the content that you put out, on the activities that you do here, then you are going to fail. So let me talk about them in a while. So uh, now that was the trend number two I have been talking. Let's get into uh, again trend number two. The buyers see these behaviors as buyers first. What? Staying actively engaged after the sale to ensure value delivery. You sell a solution, you sell a product, you continuously engage with the buyer, and the buyer will see this as a buyer's first mentality, you as a seller. And I always do this. I mean, there are enough and more times I go back to someone who has taken coaching from me, or maybe someone who has taken personal branding advisors from me, my services. Later on, if I see a mistake, I go and tell them, hey, look, that content is not good. I saw that you have commented on someone's profile, someone's activity like this. Why do you have to do it? Think about it. Or sometimes I go back and check, are you all right? Are you doing okay? And they love it, because my delivery is over. Maybe it's over 1 year ago, but then you could always go and engage with those buyers, and that'll help you. You got to do it genuinely, but then it could help you for further sales in the future, right? So then the second one, offering product test, training and trials. Gone are the days where you say, no, you can't test the product, we can't give you enough training, trials cannot be done, right? You got to put your credit card first if you want to test the product. That was 2019 and before. There are so many softwares, if you really look at today, who are offering no credit card is required to test the product. That is where the world is operating. So if you can't give your customer a POC or a product test or a training without having to purchase, that means you are still operating in the seller's first mindset. You got to operate in buyer's first mindset, right? So, and then you got to be completely transparent about pricing. We know if you have been on Facebook, when when sellers say come to inbox, how how it has affected the overall brand or the image negatively. People go mad right? Unless and otherwise your product is bit complicated and where you have too many models, when somebody asks for a price, you go to the inbox and reply. But if it is a very specific, single, straightforward product, customers expect you to put the price where everybody can see it. I know as a seller, you have this insecure feeling, okay, my competitors are going to check this, they are going to find the price. But then it is, if you are operating on a buyer's world, buyer first mentality, buyer first process, I don't think we have a choice, right? So think about it. Aligning with the buyer's success matrix related to the purchase. You got to know your buyer's requirements so well. Then only you will know buyer's success matrix for you to align your product or solution with it. The next one, recommending different products and companies if your product doesn't fit the buyer's needs. You got to be that genuine, you got to be that generous if you want to have a long term relationship with the buyer. If your product cannot deliver, maybe it's up to the extreme of going and recommending a competitor's product. Now, because if you genuinely know your solution is not going to solve the buyer's problem, and you are just going to say, very sorry, okay, that one way it is great, very sorry, my product cannot solve your problem. But you can go one step further. If you are operating with buyer's first mentality, you may even go to the extent of, okay, I think that particular company has what you are looking for. I think you better try. That's another one. Providing free and easy access to product reviews and other content. Of course, in this digital world, it's so easy, but pay attention to that. Let me move to the other one. Uh, yep. Let me see who else is here in the room. Okay, apart from Indra Kumar, we have Susanta Patmasiri. Good evening, Susanta. And we have Kasun joining on Facebook. Hi, Kasun Sachinta. Thank you very much for joining. And I haven't still got a question from your side, but if you throw me a question, you will get an answer. So let's move with the rest of what I have to offer you in terms of my advisors. Let me go to the third trend. The world of work is changing, especially people are working remotely. So if you can't pay attention to that, uh, if you can't be prepared, say for an example, I mean, in my own experience, last maybe 20 to 30 days, we are in a lockdown. There are so many organizations who have told me, "Hey, look, we will pay you after the lockdown because our payment process is still manual or the traditional process. We haven't still got into maybe 100% online transfers yet. So there's little bit of process that goes a traditional way, and then later we can pay you." So I don't blame them, but somebody is going to pay. Somebody is going to blame you, because if you haven't got into this hybrid world, world has changed. Even you as a seller, if you have to say that you can't deliver something, you can't send a quotation, a proposal on time because your part of your sales process is not working because you are not yet ready, then it's going to be a big problem. And so you have to be uh, preparing yourself right now. I mean, the preparation time is over. Now you got to be delivering it. Yeah. So let's look at the trend number 4. That's basically trend number 4 according to this report. Let me get into the report. There are sales behaviors blocking deals, right? Uh, this is very important. 46% of buyers won't buy from sellers who offer misleading information. Sometimes maybe you just want to get out of that situation. You will offer some number. You will say yes, or you will say something that cannot be delivered. That is considered as misleading information, right? Even if you are using an old brochure, old sales material, that will be considered, if they have not been updated, those will be considered as misleading information. And these sales behaviors will make a difference. Customers will move away without you even knowing uh, that because you are offering misleading information. So what happens? It affects trust portion of it. So when they have asked buyers to identify what factors would make them more likely to select a sales professional's company as a vendor. Now, write this down. LinkedIn survey has asked buyers to identify what factors would make them more likely to select a sales professional's company as a vendor. Here are the top 5. If the sales professional is informed about my company and business needs, whether the sales professional knows about my business, my issues, my challenges, my organization. So there is a great chance that that sales professional would sell to that organization. If the second one, if the sales professional works for a company with a strong professional brand. So here, an opportunity for brand managers and marketing managers, marketing directors, pay attention. Are you doing enough? If especially if it is a brand, or if it is a buyer that has a significant presence on LinkedIn, are you doing enough to showcase or improve, increase your presence and image on LinkedIn? So if the sales professional works for a company with a strong professional brand, that helps the buyers. This is according to the buyers. Here are the top 5 reasons for them to buy from somebody. If the sales professional offers favorable pricing, of course, this is a universal truth. Price plays a role. Then the next one, if the sales professional is referred or recommended by someone in my professional network. Now, this is a hint. How many connections do you have on LinkedIn? How many relevant connections do you have on LinkedIn? How often do you get engaged with your network? Now, most of the time, when you get so many connections, let's imagine that you have 10,000 connections. Those are 10,000 relationships. And you are more worried about getting new connections than engaging with existing network. Now, the buyers say, if the sales professional is recommended by someone in my professional network, there's a greater chance that we buy from that person. And this is the fifth one. If the sales professional is informed about local market insight, how many times that we don't know of what's happening in an industry? Recently, there was somebody who was going for an interview, and then he called me and said, Amita, I am going for an interview. Should I know something about that industry? So I asked him, do you have this particular application on your phone which gives industry news? Then he said, oh no, I didn't know that there's an app. I said, I have that app. I'm not from that industry, but I don't know. Tomorrow I will have a client who would come for coaching, or who would want to buy a software, might talk to me. And then if I don't know about his or her industry, that will be a disadvantage. Now imagine if you are a sales professional and you are going to sell somebody, and if you don't have the local market insights, it will be a disadvantage. So how about your local market knowledge, industry knowledge? Okay, let's move on to few. I think I have some comments and questions. We have Sachinta. Thanks for the valuable insights, sir. Have some question about LinkedIn Sales Navigator. Okay, Sachin, the Sales Navigator related questions we'll have to take on another day, but of course, I'll connect. A good topic with the current situation. Fazli, hi Fazli, thank you for coming here. Let me look at the question. Sachinta, thanks for the valuable insight. Have some question about LinkedIn Sales Navigator. What does LinkedIn Sales Navigator do? Is Sales Navigator the same as LinkedIn Premium? Definitely not. Sales Navigator will give you more access to potential buyers more. You will have an insight into so many additional people which your premium will not allow you to go and look. You can pin certain people, certain professionals, and you can monitor their changes. Which, I mean, it's like, having a very active database of people where you will be able to monitor all their movements, and then at the right moment you could go and talk to them. LinkedIn Premium is a bit of an advanced version of the normal one, but for your information, I only got LinkedIn Premium version last year. That is also because I wanted to look at outside Sri Lanka. I know enough and more people. I know someone who has 150,000 followers who has not taken a LinkedIn Premium account. Of course, if you take a premium account, it would help you. Now, I have a very simple formula for that. Okay. My formula is, if your LinkedIn Premium is $25, if you are not making $25 out of LinkedIn, or when I say out of LinkedIn, if you aren't getting enough inquiries, leads, or sales because you are spending $25 more, then it's not worth is spending that. There has to be a return on investment. It can't be just satisfaction to realize, okay, these 90 people or these 4,000 people have looked at my profile last 90 days, or these 10,000 people have looked at me, my profile last so many days. It can't be just satisfaction. You should be able to use that information, that data, in a very proactive manner, and see. Now I know, for an example, if a L&D, learning and development manager, has come and checked my profile, I know that there's a requirement going on there. When somebody comes to my profile and check, I know what content has got that person to come and check my profile. Right? I have got the attention of people who have got millions of followers, millions, and I can see who has checked my profile. Then I go and check what made that person come and check my profile, and I can do more of that, so that more people of that nature, if that person fits my buyer persona, then uh, I can do more of it. What is working? If I know what is working, I can do more of it. Okay, Vinod has a question. Please give some advice to improve engagement between our existing connections. Yes, Vinod, you got to give me a few more minutes. Okay, let me check the time. Yeah, we have about 30 more minutes. Hang on there. I'll definitely give some good points how you could engage with your existing connections, existing relationships. If you don't engage with them, they will not engage with you, and they are equal to, some dead connections. They are not there in vain. They are already there with you and you are not utilizing it. And I minimum I get engaged with about 20 25 people on a daily basis, and I don't go always go and engage with the same person. I go and try and see that I could engage with other people on a daily basis. Okay, let me get into the LinkedIn status of sales 2021 APAC report again. Factors influencing the performance of the APAC region. purchase of a product, these five factors selected by buyers. Trust of organization. I mean, I because I have a separate service which I provide with an agency for very important for buyers to take your product into consideration. Return on investment. Obviously, LinkedIn or outside LinkedIn, these are common things. Price, right? Where you may not have greater control on price or the return on investment because they are already fixed. But salesperson's industry knowledge can make a huge difference. This is according to LinkedIn survey. Then trust in relationship with salesperson. Again, the trust word has come as the fifth factor. How do you show that you are a trustworthy person? How do you show the world that your product or service could be trusted? That has to be done on LinkedIn. And I do it all the time. I'll tell you how to do it. I mean, give me about few more minutes because we are on the trend number 4. Now let's look at buyers rank these 7 behaviors as immediate deal killers. So if you want to get your deal killed, destroy your deal, just do these 7 behaviors. Number 1, delivering misleading information about the product, its price, etc. That's the number 1 deal killer. Number 2, not understanding my company and its needs. You don't understand the customer's company and its needs. Now, these are universal truths. I mean, I have spoken about this long before I got into LinkedIn. These are universal, but then it is true inside LinkedIn as well. That's the most beautiful thing. Number 3, not understanding their own product or service. Imagine a situation you are trying to sell something and you don't know much about your own product, features, benefits, applications. That's terrible. I don't know how come that you are in sales in the first place, but sometimes when the youngsters join, I see this happening in especially on LinkedIn. People just get into LinkedIn and they try to sell. So when they don't know how to approach a client, how to greet a client, basic things, that itself, that particular behavior kills not only the deal, the brand image. It kills the brand image of the organization. And then not understanding their competitors' products and services. You have this is you have fallen in love with your own product. You don't know anything about your competitors' products and services. Then now of course, if affiliated with a brand I don't trust trying to sell me, but then I have a bad experience with your brand already. That could be a deal killer. Call calling or emailing me repeatedly. I am telling you, this is LinkedIn status of sales 2021 APAC report saying call calling or emailing me repeatedly could kill a deal without building a rapport, without building a relationship. I told you, a lot of people think LinkedIn is a place where you can just land in and, oh my God, there's a database. Let me send the same message to 100 people today. So much so, somebody called me last week and said, Mr. Gamagi, we have a problem. I said, what? One of our salespeople have been sending the same message, and LinkedIn has warned them that the account will be uh, suspended. I said, obviously, yes. Uh, Maybe LinkedIn has flagged, thinking that you are using an automated tool to send these messages out because you are copying and pasting the same message to, let's say, 50 people. Lack of personalized and customized messaging is the 7th deal killer. If you are sending a message through inbox and if you haven't personalized it, customized to that customer, it's a deal killer. I'm telling you. And okay, let me say it. I'm not telling you. It's LinkedIn status of sales 2021 APAC report is telling this. Obviously, we all know that even if you are sending an email, if you are just sending the same email to 100 customers, you will get only 0.001% response rate. So these are some of the things you got to avoid. Okay, let's see. We have Yoshel. Any tips for an online service providing firm to gain more business opportunities on LinkedIn? So, Yoshel, if you are the founder or if you are the sole representative, you if you are a startup again, it's always get that the founder comes online. The founder talks about it. Of course, if this is a very large organization, you can't expect the chairperson or the CEO to always come online. But if it is a small organization, the founders, the senior people could come and talk about a lot of things. Now, this is not about coming and talking about your product and say, buy my product. No. Have you ever heard me saying, buy my services? What am I doing today? I'm talking about a lot of good things that you could gain from this. I show my expertise on the subject. And then I know after this, my inbox will be full of potential customers who is talking to me. Hey, can you help our organization? We have a sales team. Maybe a CEO will come and talk to me and say, hey, Amita, I would like to get your services. My SSI index is not the best. I checked my SSI index. You should know how to check your SSI index. It's www.linkedin.com/sales/SSI. It'll show you 4 indicators. My SSI index is 73 out of 100. I know it's not the best. You should have at least 80, 85, 83, right? Minimum. But my inbox is full. My measurement of my success is the amount of leads that I generate in my inbox, not my SSI. Of course, I maintain SSI. I know why my SSI index is low. For an example, if you go to my article section on my profile, I only have 2 articles which I have written. One in 2018, second one is 2019. I should have been writing at least 5 to 10 articles a year, showcasing what I know, offering value. But instead, I have my LinkedIn Live now. Here I'm offering you value. Okay, we have Shaman, very impressive. Thank you, Shaman. Uh, Yoshel, I hope I answered your question. But you got to deliver value. If you are selling a software, now as you said, let me say an online service. Now, instead of talking about buy my online service, talk about how your type of online services could help the market, how it could reduce the how it could reduce the cost, how it can improve efficiency, how it can help someone deliver more. So talk about value. Don't talk about your software, but don't talk about what if you have a software which can reduce the delivery time. So talk about those kind of things. Don't be salesy, right? Of course, first you get the attention of these people, your potential buyers. So Gyan SSI index is social selling index, right? As I told you, go to www.linkedin.com/sales/SSI. It will give you 4 parameters. Each parameter will give you 25 marks. Out of 25 marks, it will tell you how many marks you have got based on your activity, and you can improve it. So it will also give you uh, a total mark. As I told you, it's 73 in my case. And then also it will give you your network strength. Where are you in terms of your network and your industry, right? So most of the time I move from, let's say, 1% of my network, or 2%, or 1% of my industry, or 2% within the 2%, the cream of the industry, I rank. So, but I'm not so worried whether it is 1%, 2%, or even 3%. I very rarely come to the 3%, because my inbox is my matrix. That this is where I measure success. Okay, let me move on to the other things. Um, we were on trend number 4. Let me go to trend number 5. Sales technology provides the key pathway to building trust. So you will have to get into Sales Navigator. I'll talk about Sales Navigator on a different date, and you'll have to use maybe CRM and other stuff, right? Because buyers are looking for salespeople that they trust, right? Because you should be able to advise them. Trust is important. So data is important. Technology is important, right? So 96% of sellers say sales tools help them close more deals. So as somebody said, maybe LinkedIn Premium, sales tool like LinkedIn, LinkedIn Sales Navigator, maybe some of the CRMs that you could use, right? Uh, Collaborative tools, sales planning tools, CRM tools. Those are the sales related tech. You can't go forward, especially on virtual selling, without having to have the support of sales tech. Okay, let's move on to trend number 6. Evolving sales operation roles are reinforcing data driven strategies in sales organizations. This is according to LinkedIn stats status of sales 2021. So I'm not going to get into details here, but uh, personally, if you want to know in terms of data where you are, get into SSI, look at all those metrics. Now, if I go to my LinkedIn profile, at this moment, I can check, for an example, how many people have looked at my profile. It's into thousands. The number of post views. Now, for an example, I have appeared 5,096 times during last 90 days when people are searching for something else. So the keywords my searchers have used, they have looked for business coach, they have looked for a co-founder, they have looked for evangelist, and they have looked for owner. Now, when they have looked for those keywords, what has happened? Amita Gamage's profile has appeared there. So for Amita Gamage's profile to appear there, I also have done my part right. Okay, let me talk about a little bit about uh, profile optimization. If you haven't fixed your headline, as a headline, for an example, I'll talk to Yoshel. Yoshel, if your headline doesn't say your personal brand or what you do, instead, if you still have your what can I say, your entrepreneur, fine, it's okay to call yourself entrepreneur, but then I myself is an entrepreneur. I have a running organization. There are people working, but then I don't want to use that word on as my headline, because it's not going to be found by my people who are searching. I mean, unless and otherwise people search for entrepreneurs, but then millions of people will be found. So I have specifically put CEO coach, executive coach, because I want people to find me when they are looking for executive coaches. I have said I'm a personal branding strategist. When people are looking for people who are doing, who are helping for people to upbring, enhance their personal brand, I want them to find me. So that's your headline. Then go to your about section. See how detailed it is. Have you puffed keywords in it? Can you find the commonly searched keywords in your about section? Yoshel, I hope you are listening. Then when they are looking for your service, your kind of service, they will never find you. Also look for your kind of content, right? You can, I mean, I'll give you an example. Search my name on LinkedIn. Not LinkedIn, search my name on Google. Just Google my name, Amita Gamage. Just go through and see what I am doing right now, what I have been doing, and what I'm offering, and what you are looking for. You need to optimize your profile in such a way that people can easily find you. So that's your headline. So profile optimization is very, very important, right? So let me go to the last trend, which is very, very important. This is where you will get the cream of today's discussion. This is trend number 7. Trend number 7 is buyers and sellers are finding greater connections on LinkedIn, right? You meet each other. So let me say 74% of sellers say they are committed to expanding their LinkedIn network in 2021 and beyond. So where do you think you should be staying and doing your sales? It has to be LinkedIn. Both buyers and sellers are indicating they are increasing their reliance on LinkedIn since the pandemic started. So you got to be here. Right? For an example, on the sales side, almost 3/4. Now we are going through it. Even more, 84% of sellers plan to write many more articles for LinkedIn this year. The percentage is 67% across all top sellers in APAC region and 77 for top sellers in India. I'm sure that is applicable to Sri Lanka as well. Additionally, 45% of APAC sellers say they are sharing much more third party content. The numbers are higher for top sellers across the APAC, and in India, it's 58%. Further, 43% say that they are sharing much more of their own company content, and 38% say they are interacting, sharing, liking, and commenting with much more content. Now, Vinod asked me, what should we do in order to have a greater relationship with the existing relationships, existing connections? Go and engage with them. Go and engage with what they post genuinely. Don't do it for the sake of doing it. I engage with COO and CEO of LinkedIn, and they come and like my comments. Only when I feel, only when their content is resonating with what I do, I go and comment genuinely. Maybe it can happen, 1 or 2 times a month, right? So keep that in mind. This is very important. So looking at the future, virtual selling is good for sellers. It's even better for buyers. Sales organizations are seeing sellers from putting buyers first, as we told, LinkedIn moving forward. So where do you think you should be uh, doing your sales? On LinkedIn. So let me add few more tips for you. Uh, Say for an example, this is also important for your shell. Videos. People have forgotten the power of videos. There's more and more video content. Why do you think that I'm on TikTok? Because it's video. World's fastest growing networks organically are TikTok and LinkedIn. And then in terms of your content and content's organic reach, you try posting on Facebook. It's very difficult to make sure that your post is seen by anyone on Facebook. It's so difficult. Unless and otherwise it has a bit of a viral going nature. But you post on LinkedIn, just random posts. You will see maybe you have only 500 people uh, in your network, but you will see 700 people have seen it. How do you like that? How can that be possible? It will happen only on TikTok and on LinkedIn. So if you are not on LinkedIn, if you are not, if you haven't optimized your profile, if you are not if you haven't checked your SSI, if you are not posting regularly network, my you are missing a lot. Looks like my network is indicating to get out. Okay, so are there any other questions? Let me check whether I have got disconnected from your network. I keep a track on my mobile phone whether I'm online or not. Let me check. We can spend maybe few more minutes talking to each other. Any other questions that you have? Yes, I'm still there. I'm still there. So, so this is another session that I have conducted today. I'm planning to bring in more content on this subject because people are coming and asking me a lot of question. Uh, okay, we have Amanullah. How can we market products perfectly in LinkedIn? So Amanullah, I have been talking about this for last 1 hour. How can you market products perfectly? So as I told you, trust is very important. If your sellers can't trust you, they will not trust your product. So how do you establish trust? They will first go to your LinkedIn and check your profile. If you haven't posted anything for last 3 months and suddenly you want to come and sell your tractor or your generator or your software, nobody is going to trust you. They know that you have just changed your jobs. So trust is very, very important. When they can trust you, when they check your LinkedIn profile, it is established, your profile URL is clean, your contact numbers are there, your email address is there, you have a professional looking photo, and you have completed your about section, you have updated everything, you have good recommendations from people, then they can trust you. Then you can talk about, though you don't have to be so salesy, but you can come and talk about it. Of course, then you can reach out to those people whom you have been engaging. Again, answering Vinod, if you have been engaging with people, naturally there's this friendship that builds over a period of time. Then what can you do? You can go to their inbox and talk about your solution. Uh, Hi, David. I've been enjoying your content, and thank you very much for even liking some of my content. I thought I will get into a conversation with you with regard to a solution that we carry, which I feel could solve one of your challenges. Based on what I have experienced so far, based on your content or whatever, something to that effect. Customize it to that person's life, that person's profile, that person's incidents, whatever. Don't copy and paste everybody's message to everybody. So then you can get a response from that person. Otherwise, they will go blank and you wouldn't know why, and they will blacklist you. Or maybe next day you can't go to them even with a different product because that message will stay in their inbox. So, Amanullah, I request you to watch this entire program again. Or if you can't find it, you can find it here. But then, if you can't find it here, you can go to YouTube, search for Amita Gamage. It is there. You can check all my 49 sessions that I have done. And next week, I'm planning to bring someone who is economically transforming Sri Lanka on the digital side. Someone sitting in a top organization. I would say it's a government and private or partnership based organization. I'm planning to bring someone to talk about how digitally we are transforming our economy going forward. So if you are going to be here, you can ask question from us and we can look at a great conversation. I hope within this 1 hour and 5 minutes, I tried my level best to get you a glimpse of how to use LinkedIn as a powerful sales tool. I hope you would, even if you get 10% out of this, you could still make a huge difference in your selling approach, and you will be able to fill your quota. You will be able to achieve your sales targets. I mean, if you ask me, I do it almost every day. And then I told you, I'm going to sell a software product here from maybe from next week. And I'm also testing my waters. Like now I'm selling my own products, in the sense, coaching, personal branding, training. Okay, let's get into product vertical, which I have done while I was in the corporate world. But then let me see. I mean, already do it in terms of some of the digital marketing and LinkedIn marketing solutions I provide for organizations. Apart from sales related ones, I'm talking about LinkedIn marketing, page management and all that, doing well. So let's see how best we can do the others. So I wish you all the best, and please stay safe, and probably stay home as much as possible, deliver from home. And then if you are going out, make sure that you stick to the health authority instructions and do your work. Thank you very much, and stay safe. Good night, everybody.